this video, we are going to check out Bristol North at Wylder. It's a new construction community and we're featuring the builder Dream Finders. I'm pretty excited about this one because we're not familiar with this builder, so we want to see what they had to offer. And we're going to show you their videos versus what we actually saw on the ground so you can do your own comparison, formulate your own opinions. Bristol North is a community of 196 homes, which is part of a much larger master community of 3,400 homes. The community is currently being built out, which will include schools, commerce, and many parks. At the time of your purchase, you may want to ask what amenities have been finished and what is still to come. My cell phone quality doesn't really do it much justice compared to the images the builder shows, and it was a pretty gloomy day that we did our walkthrough, but it really did not disappoint once we got inside. As we go inside, you'll see that there's a lot of staging involved and some things that you may not necessarily be able to get from the builder, but if you look at the bones and the layout, you could probably get an idea what you would do with these spaces. Me personally, I would probably use this flex room as an office and maybe even enclose it in just for a little bit more privacy with barn doors or something like that. There are different packages that you can choose when it comes to the home model. This one here, you can see it comes with the quartz countertops and the square porcelain tiles. One thing that you may not get in some of the older, more established communities is natural gas. This is something that a lot of our northern customers ask for. They really don't like cooking on top of electricity, and this community is already plumbed for it. Fixtures do not come standard. In fact, when you purchase, you'll have a light bulb hanging from right there where you can install your own fans and other light fixtures, chandeliers, etc. And the walls will be one-tone white when you purchase, but you do have the option to talk to a design counselor, and there are upgrades that you can have. Here's some things that I wish they would have done a little differently, like instead of the wire shelving, I don't think it would have been too much more to add in built-ins or at least some type of wood, just plain wood shelving. This one here, this is kind of builder grade for the shower doors. One thing that I would probably prefer to see would be frameless, but this is something that you can add after the fact if you're not able to get that worked out with the builder while the home is being built. If you do purchase a home that is closer to final construction or maybe has already been completed, these are the homes where you are more likely to get incentives or added perks where you might have to pay extra for those if you're having the home built from scratch. And this is intentionally by design because the builders do not like to hold on to housing inventory. It is much better for them to sell as soon as they can and as close to the closing or close to the completion of the home as possible. Let me know how you feel the builder did in comparison to their model tour of the Poinciana versus what we saw in person. Personally, I was not let down. I did think that it showed very well, and the sales counselor there was also very helpful in explaining all the intricacies of this home, the community, and many of the incentives that are being offered, which, by the way, is something you want to talk to your sales agent about first, especially before going to the community. Dreamfinders does promote some customizations, but they do have 9 different floor plans, and this one here is one of the larger lots. It comes on 60 feet of road frontage, and that's so you can fit in that 3rd car garage. Both the Catalina and the Poinciana models are great options if you do not like stairs. And if this is your forever home, you may want to consider the future when it comes to retiring in place. One question you may have is, how well do these homes fare against storms like hurricanes? And some of the things that you'll see in this home are hurricane rated impact windows. In fact, some things you won't see are these homes are built with concrete block, and the trusses have hurricane wraps which secure the roof to the walls and foundation of the home. Some of the features that you may change early on. I personally am not a fan of carpet, so I may want to switch that out with tile. Also, the type of tile that you choose. So like these right here are square porcelain tiles, which are laid at a diagonal, which, believe it or not, actually costs a little bit more because there's a lot more cutting involved at the corners. I think it does look pretty nice. My personal preference, though, would be to get either luxury vinyl tile or the tile plank, which is, in my opinion, even better and easier to clean. Also, I like the layout where the kitchen countertop is. For us, we would actually use that as the kitchen table, and that's primarily where we would sit and hang out. If you get in early enough, you can change out the model package, and that's what you see right here, like the tan counters and the quartz countertops with the backsplash and the type of flooring. Of course, if you buy something that is near completion, you won't have the option to change things out, but you may be able to negotiate a better deal with your real estate agent. Which brings me to another great point, and it is a tip for you, and that is to use a realtor when purchasing a new construction home. Of course, we would love to work with you, but if you choose any local realtor, at least you will then have an advocate working with you and an intermediary between you and the builder. Purchasing a new construction home with a realtor does not cost you extra money, and you won't get an additional deal by going directly to the builder. However, if you do purchase a home with us, we do offer additional new construction incentives, which may help with your closing cost. That is in addition to what the builder offers you, simply for choosing our brokerage to help you out. I had to do a double take because this isn't something I see very often, where the master bedroom is actually behind the kitchen. It actually kind of looked like somewhere where the pantry might be. But I do think it was pretty well placed, because if I wanted to get a midnight snack, I'd have to take a couple extra turns, which might give me time to think about my life choices. Here's one thing that I do like in a master bath, and that is if I walk in here and I close this door behind me, I have everything I need a wonderful walk-in shower. I've got the commode right there. And I also have access to the walk-in closet, all from behind the same door. In other words, I don't have to go back and forth in the bedroom to get dressed before going to work. And it is a little bit more courteous for my wife because she can still sleep in. And when I come out of the bathroom, I'm ready to go into my car. I'd love to see a comment. Let me know what you think about the video quality. When you see the builder's very professional equipment and the walkthrough that they did versus how it actually looked as we walked through. I wonder if this met your expectations or if this looked a little bit more like reality. Let's see what it's like to have the living quarters upstairs in the Winston model. There is a flex room downstairs, but if you are okay with having the extra steps, you do get a lot more space with this model. You might have noticed this by now, but when we walk into these homes, you can see that there is kind of a yellow tint. And that is the way the home really looks compared to maybe some of the professional videos. And I do think it gives a kind of comfortable, homey type of feel. If you do want it to be brighter and crisper like the builder's video, you may want to swap out the lights and you may want to switch out these accent walls with actual white or dove white, some type of neutral color like that. Before we go upstairs to the living quarters, I want to remind you that these fixtures do not come standard. You will get the recessed lighting that you see in the back there. Where you see the chandelier and fans, you'll end up getting a light bulb that comes down from the ceiling, so that way you can add in the fixtures that you want. You could purchase these from the builder. They are upgrades. And if you don't mind paying for them separately, you may be able to have more of a selection and potentially even lower price if you do use local contractors, but you won't be able to wrap that into the mortgage if you do it after the sale. Also notice that this package is slightly different with the darker cabinets. This one does have the square ceramic tiles, but notice how this one is not laid diagonally like the previous model. So these are some of the customizations that the builder promotes, but you won't be able to move these walls around. Now, if you do purchase a home and you want to be on the lake, that is what's called a lot premium, and so the price for that lot will be higher if it is in a nicer, more featured area. Maybe if it's tucked away in the back of the neighborhood, on a cul-de-sac, or if it is on water. Everybody's preference is different, but for me and my family, we really do not like carpet. Personally, I think it's like an air filter that traps in a lot of allergens. So our preference is tile or luxury vinyl plank all the way through. However, if you do purchase from the builder, you're not going to get that on the second floor. This is something that you'll have to get after the sale, and like I said, we can direct you into the right area to get it just the way that you want it. Kind of like this for a romp room. We probably would have our TV right here. Being that the living quarters are mostly up here, this is where the family and I would probably spend a lot of time watching TV or hanging out, which would be right next to the primary bedroom and the other guest bedrooms. Jack and Jill bathrooms are pretty good when in between two bedrooms, not really the best for guests, but because there is one downstairs for the guest, this one seems to lay out really well in between these two bedrooms. Most of our laundry would be upstairs with the exception of that guest bedroom or flex room downstairs, so we wouldn't really have to carry laundry up and down the stairs. Of course, the primary bedroom is up here, right next to where everyone else is going to be sleeping. In some of these models, you may have noticed there's the difference in packages. Like, I like the upgraded frameless shower doors, but then you get some of the other ones. I consider this like builder grade, where you see the frames right there. It does make a little bit of a sound when you open and close them. I think if you're going to be spending the money for the Winston model, probably should just go ahead and get that extra little nice touches like the frameless shower doors. We have worked with a lot of builders and a lot of new construction communities, and I give this one 2 thumbs up for their quality and also the sales staff that's on site. John, he's very friendly, very thorough, and a great person to work with as you go through your sale. However, he will also tell you that once you go into a sales center, you have now given up your right to representation because the builder has what's called procurement. And so to add on a real estate agent later is something that you're past the point of no return, and they may not be able to allow that. So I will say, for the best representation, the best deal, and the best incentives, always talk to a realtor first. This is something that we do specialize in. And if you would like to have an individual personal tour, this could be live one-on-one, where one of our agents will actually direct the camera to wherever it is you want to see, and you could actually purchase one of these homes from another state, another country, without even setting foot into the home. And then when you move out here, you're already closed and ready to start moving in and moving on with your life. Hope you have a great day.